All right, hello. Push this behind my back. I am going to start off with an affirmative prayer, and this is going to be a healing prayer, a healing affirmation, rather. And with that, a few minutes of meditation, or in your case, a few minutes of silence, just being silent and closed off from the outside atmosphere. As I go through this healing process, as you go through this healing process, trust that you are in the healing flow of eternal life. Choose to bathe your thoughts and emotions only in the ideas of positive outcomes. Therefore, only speak thoughts of wellness to your food and about your body. Steeped in this positive energy created by your words, easily release all fears which might in any way impact or impede the process and the progress of your restoration back to vital health. Fear is replaced with deep gratitude, especially for those who also need to stay safe themselves. Give thanks for medical professionals who are responsible for assisting in your well-being. You are responsive to divine love's quickening, healing power. And you are now restored to pristine health and perfection. With deep gratitude, release your words of positivity into the atmosphere and witness its swift manifestation into existence as complete and uncomplicated restoration. And so it is. Power. Imagine you are encircled in love and light. Nothing but good shall come to you, and nothing but good shall flow from you. Let's take a few moments. Take a few deep breaths. Let's go within. All right. If you need more time, just continue with your moment of silence. But the title today is This is a Time for Tea. Now, T is an acronym for Transition, Empower, Ascend. My name is Metaphysical Minister Angel Truesdale, and I just promote centered living, God-centered living, healthy healing, and I am a healthy healing metaphysical light guide. I only share opinions and suggestions, and I'm not here to shame or dishonor any religions or followers of such. But I want to present to you today another Sunday session, because I think this is the time we're in right now, everybody is transitioning. No matter what position you're in, there's another level for you. And it may not be a level as your neighbor, but everyone, I believe, is transitioning to another level. Now, my focus is on evolution. I understand that there are those who may be choosing to descend, but my focus isn't really on the descension of a person or a being, but on the ascension. So there's a quote by Rumi that says, "What you are seeking is seeking you." And I believe that there are goals and aspirations, visions that were given that a lot of people are actively pursuing. And right now is a time to position yourself for this transition, to be empowered and to empower for ascension, if that makes sense. Deuteronomy chapter 31 verse 6. Deuteronomy chapter 31 verse 6. Let me go to the scripture. I want to read the easy version. Deuteronomy chapter 31 and verse 6 says, "Be strong and be brave. Do not be afraid of them, because the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forget you." He will never leave you or forget you. That goes hand in hand with the message today that I want to share. Focus on everyday life. Focus on your everyday life and your process of rising higher into living a life of freedom and living a God-centered life. Everybody's definition may be different, especially when it comes to living a God-centered life or a Christ-centered life, having the mind of Christ, being God-minded, and freedom. Everybody's definition of freedom may be different. But this session here, my goal is to point out areas in which you may seem as not enough or nothing, like you have nothing. There's no support. There's nothing for you. Because those blind spots, so to speak, are moving out of those things that serve no purpose for our advancement. So the things that you feel are not helpful, or the areas you feel may be void, they can either be moved out of the way or transitioned into what it is you need to get to where you're going. Now, a lot of the times I run across the question, how to transition? How do I transition? How do I welcome this transition? How do I begin to transition? Now, transition is the definition is to change from one state or condition to another. So to alter or shift some sort of way. So this goes hand in hand with ascension, because ascension is going from one level, but I'm not there, but one level to another level. So to shift. But with transition with the transition, there has to be a positioning. There has to be a positioning. There has to be a goal that is desired, or desire. If a desire, you have to search for the provision that's going to help you with this transition. So whatever you need that may help you with this transition, whether that is a certain form of training, or like, what is it? Basically, think about what it is you need to get to where you're going, or want to go to where you desire to go, and how you can get that right now. How you can position yourself right now to get to where you want to go. That's how you transition. How can I position myself? What position do I need to be in? What mindset do I need to have in order to get to where I'm going? There's a wide frame of teaching that you have to think like where you're wanting to be, or where you're wanting to go, or the level you're wanting to be on. You have to think about that right now. But right here, what I want to urge is, think about how to position yourself, what it is you need right now to get to where you're going. So let's say you want to be a medical doctor. Okay, right now, wherever you are, what do you need to do right now to position yourself to become that medical doctor? Whether you're in high school, whether you are, post college, think about what you need to do from this point forward. There's nothing in the past, unless you got some things that can help you get. This is what I'm saying. You position these things. The things that aren't going to help you get there, leave them there. Not saying you have to throw them out, but if you have to throw some things out, throw some things out. That's material things, that's certain connections, it's whatever. You need to position yourself now to get to where you're going. And I feel like this is a time where, if not everybody, a lot of people are on this T path, this transitioning, empowerment, and ascension. There is another level coming in for you. If not, it's coming in for you. So whatever situation you are in now, there's another level, a higher level. I don't feel that anyone's going to descend or devolve, but there are those who may be in that situation. But I'm sensing a very mass volume of ascension here, because there was so much help sent in for us previously, not too long ago. Like, so many light beings sent here in this realm to assist. So you have to understand, this is a time for this. This is a time for this T era. So to transition is to position yourself. To sum it up, position yourself, gather those things that you need, do away with those things that you don't need, that are not going to help you. You only need what's going to help you. You only need the connections that are going to help you. You only need to receive and open up to what is going to further get you to your next level. What is to empower? Or what should you empower? Empower is to give the authority or power to do something to someone, to allow them, to qualify and equip them, to make someone stronger and more confident, to free them up to be themselves, to free them up to be able to do. All power is given unto you. That's a given. It may be in the Bible. I don't know. But all power is given unto you. All power is given unto you. If you don't feel like it's given to you, it's shared with you. You are an all-powerful being. Everything you need to make it happen is inside of you right now. And it's available. You don't have to search it out. Your greatest power comes at the moment is needed. That's like when you need the words to speak and you try to rack your brain and like, oh my gosh, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? Once you're faced, with you in that situation, face to face, the words come. Because they're already readily available. But your power has to be exercised and not pushed down and hidden and ignored and denounced. Point your power out and use it. Point your power out and use it. Basically, acknowledge your power. Acknowledge who you are. Don't allow anyone to render you powerless. As long as you breathe, you have power in all you need. So, this empowerment in this era is you freeing yourself up also to be able to use whatever and all that you need to use to get to where you're going. To allow yourself the freedom to be, the freedom to do, the freedom to go, the freedom to think, the freedom to live. And give yourself more confidence and more strength, as well as those around you. Because although your mind is, I need your support to get to where I'm going, your connections also need support as well. Whether they call on your support then, or they wait till you get to where you're going and then call on your support. So as well as you empowering yourself and allowing yourself to be empowered, you have to empower those around you. Now, ascend. Where are we ascending to? The definition of ascend is to advance by moving forward in a purposeful way. To make progress, gain ground, continue to press on to a higher point or level. Proceed from an inferior to a superior level. To ascend to ascending to a higher you, basically. Going from your ego level to your higher you level, operating through your crown chakra. If not the crown chakra, your third eye. I think it's a lot harder for some people to get into that crown space, only because of them holding themselves back. Because to get through to one of those, you have to be able to communicate. You have to be open and available to communicate more than just with your actions. You have to physically, verbally communicate when it's allowed, if it's allowed. Now ask yourself, can you be successful and remain empowered in your current environment? Think about that. In your current environment, can you become the success you desire and remain empowered in your current situation right now? Search out where and if you need to change your environment or even move, physically move, make a move. Where are you being drawn to? There are a lot of people at this time being drawn to certain parts of the country or maybe parts of the world. Are you feeling the pull to move to a certain area? This could be physical. This could be natural. or spiritual. You have to think about this mentally, emotionally, and spiritually on all levels. So if you need to move, and if it's not a physical move, what kind of moves do you need to make in the spiritual realm? What kind of moves do you need to make emotionally? What kind of moves do you need to make with your mind, mentally? This goes hand in hand with mental healing, emotional healing. Whew. Move higher in every aspect of who you are, in all areas. Your lower you, your shadow you, can also ascend. Once you've fully ascended as basically an ascended master, all of you has ascended. All of you has embraced the light fully. So there's no shadow you, there's no ego you, there's just only the ascended you, your pure higher you. This is, when I say ascended, you have ascended from the physical realm, from your physical body as well. So as long as you're in your physical body, you are shadow you, ego you, higher you. And you are connected to the universal mind of God. And you are connected to the universal mind of God. So sometimes you just have to drop everything and go. Have you ever been in a situation where you purposely let everything all go? Have you? On purpose. Just look at your situation and say, you know what? I'm starting all over. I'm starting anew, and I'm fully dependent on the universe. I'm fully dependent on God. I'm not saying you have to do this, but what I'm saying is I know a lot of people who have gone through this. I have gone through this. I have turned away the hand of man. I said, you know what? You can have it all. And walked away from it with nothing. Nowhere to go. Only trusting what I couldn't see and couldn't touch. And letting go those things that I could see, could touch, could heal, could fear. Could feel, could hear, could see, or whatever. Basically, I turned man away. And I said, you know what? I'll be called crazy. I might even get in trouble. But there's more. There's something greater. And I'm not selling myself. And I had children. So who would purposely do this? And they have children. But when I say the universe provided, and when I say God really kept us, yes, I was looked at as a fool. And there's a lot of people I just didn't tell because I didn't want to hear. And I didn't want to put myself in a situation where anybody could say, you know what, she don't need those kids. She's abusing the kids, or she's neglecting them, or not taking care of them. But we survived. Could I have stayed where I was? I probably could have, but no. I am a part of the all. And when you're surrounded by small minds who can or feel as if, no, you know what? I was on a different journey at the time. I was beginning a different journey at the time. And I said, this got to be it. This has to be it. And it was. My new year started at that time. This is why when the new year comes around for me, my new year begins in November. Ever since, it's been It's been 5 years now since then. And my new year begins in November. There's so many new things that come too. Well, I ain't gonna get into that. So anyways, what I'm saying is sometimes you just have to drop everything. No matter how crazy people gonna look at you, no matter what they're gonna say about you, sometimes you just gotta drop everything and just go. You can say you're following God. Go before God. Go. Because if you don't willingly do this, I don't want to say you're going to be forced to do this, but a lot of the time circumstances come and put you in a situation where you're like, how am I going to get through this? So even with my situation, I fortunately say I chose to go. There were plenty of times I was like, I just got to go back. I'm going to go back. But I kept going forward. I kept moving forward. I had to ascend. And it's true. Now that I'm thinking about it, there's a saying, the higher you ascend, the toxicity or whatever's toxic or not for you will just fall away. You don't even have to let them go, push them away, whatever. It'll just fall away, and it did. I got so far away from that situation, I couldn't even remember the people's names. I couldn't remember, certain details that I could automatically go to. But it's like, I'm not saying I didn't appreciate what the situation was. I really appreciated it. But it came to a point where you can't just disrespect me and talk to me and talk about me and treat me this type of way because you feel that what's physical is what it is, and it's not. So sometimes you just gotta drop everything, let everything go, and just leave. And it's not a pretty experience. This is not a pretty experience for me personally. It wasn't. Nature is beauty. There was beauty in nature, but to be in the situation that I was in, would I choose it again? I would not choose it again. I wouldn't. But I am grateful and I'm appreciative to have that experience to the extent, because a lot of the times people will say, oh, I experienced that. And trust me, my experience wasn't as bad as others. But for me, having 4 children, it was one of the worst times of my life, if not the worst. To me, it was the worst time of my life. But to know that I had my babies with me, So whether you choose to go or whether circumstances force you, either experience, it may not be as comfortable, and it's definitely not going to be pretty. Nothing's going to be pretty about it. But you'll have the opportunity to take the initiative if you choose this path, if you choose this part of your education. If you choose this part of your education, so to ascend is to go to the higher level. I feel like there's a lot. In the meditation just now, all I could sense and see was the shedding of old skin. That's what I visualized, the shedding of old skin, because the new light that you have been granted, that old skin can't contain the energy that you now possess or will possess. So there's a lot of shedding you need to be doing. There are some people, depending on how spiritually advanced you are, how metaphysically advanced you are, there are some symptoms or some effects. I'm not going to say symptoms. Some effects you've been dealing with. You may be itching for no reason all over. You may have a fever. You may have, and none of these things are connected to what the physical world is saying going on. But there are some things spiritually that you may be dealing with, some pains, and irregular sleep patterns. Things are just off. Emotional, because you're ascending. You're actually ascending into a higher realm, into a higher level, consciously. So be aware of these things. Take in these keywords and suggestions that I'm sharing with you. Add your own. And just keep in mind that in the end, we only regret the chances we didn't take. So, until next time, I want to say shalom, shalom, love, light, and gratitude. Continue to meditate, continue to pray, continue to speak life into yourself, speak life into your food, and love on yourself, love on your surroundings, love on the people that are closest to you. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay healing, and I'll see you next week. No, I am coming back tomorrow, but for this Sunday session, I will see you next week.